Hello. Welcome back. This is episode 75. That's a three-quarters of a century of Adventures in Pop. And you are very welcome. My name is Simon Jacobs. And today I want to talk about, well, a brand new song. That's the centerpiece of episode 75. A brand new song I've written in the last couple of weeks. I want to share it with you because otherwise it's going to be sitting around for ages before it gets exposed to the light. And it's called Risen. Hi, yeah. Now, look, apart from sharing this brand new song, I want to also do a little bit of an update of one or two things that have gone on because really I should be kind of, giving you kind of an overall picture of what it's like being on this journey to the unknown in the world of pop music and songwriting and recording and releasing and, trying to make your way in the crazy world of the pop industry, the music industry in 2022. Not easy, not easy, as we've discussed many, many times. So, first of all, there's a little recap of some of the things that have gone on recently. First of all, I think I might have said last time round that I was due to go on a rather interesting visit to Switzerland to record with somebody. That actually, disappointment, didn't happen because of COVID, so nobody's fault, and hopefully we can pick that up and still resurrect it in the rather shorter time that we have left available. And it's particularly short time because next week I'm going to go on holiday for 2 weeks. I haven't had a holiday for a very, very long time. I won't be able to record an episode while I'm on holiday because I will be trekking around some mountains and not really in contact with the civilized world. That's kind of why I'm going. So it's going to be very different. I'm excited and nervous and all the rest of it. So look, we'll talk about that later when the time comes. But that's just a long way of saying there was no visit to Switzerland, and so therefore no recording yet of a different voice onto a Rothman and Jacobs track, which was the plan. And for that then to possibly end up on TV, which would have been quite interesting. So hopefully that can still happen. So that's a bit of bad news. Let's stay with the kind of disappointing news. I suppose it's fair to say 2 weeks ago we, Goldhawk Foxes, released Straight Up and Down, the fourth Goldhawk Foxes track. And I think it's fair to say that it has done considerably less well than the other three. And I don't know why, because, as usual, I can't really see it. If it had done 4 times better than the other ones, I'd have also been a bit bewildered, but it didn't. It's done kind of a third of what the other ones have done in terms of Spotify streams. And I shouldn't get too hung up on Spotify streams, I know, but when you've got such a lack of ways to measure how something's doing, you do rather cling on to whatever you can find, and Spotify streams is at least tangible. You can count them, and there they are. So that is a wee bit disappointing. Now, look, it's only been out for 2 weeks and it can still carry on, and it will, I'm sure, carry on growing. But if you look at its trajectory compared to its first three, songs, it's a bit disappointing. And as I say, I don't blame the song. I just think it's a slightly random thing, and I may be terribly deluded, and maybe the song's dreadful, but I don't think it is. So that's just annoying, I suppose. I don't take it too seriously, but I do notice it and then think, what can I do about it? And is there something I can learn? And normally the answer is no, there's nothing much I can learn. And anyway, I don't want to knee jerk just because of one track that's not, reached the numbers that I thought it should do, or that its brothers and sisters did. On the other hand, if we turn to the good news, interesting news. Last week I released my third single, which is I Don't Love You Anymore. You can find that on Spotify, and there was a video that I put out on YouTube on this channel, and that is doing really well. So that is up to about 60 something thousand streams in just a week, and that's really good. So it kind of it's up there with my, top whatever it is, top 5, 6, 7 tracks that I've ever released, and that's great. So that's nice. It's a nice counter, but I want everything to do well. I'm too demanding. All right, so that's fine. That's going well, and hopefully hasn't completely stopped yet either. The other thing which has been interesting this week is it actually happened while CJ was here, and we were working on some new Goldhawk Foxes material, and it just so happened it was kind of neat and rather interesting, and kind of hilarious because wait till you hear the sums involved in this. But I got an email from BMI, um, and BMI is an organisation that looks after songwriters and makes sure that their other royalties, particularly in the area of performing rights and things like radio airplay, and so if your song gets played in a shop, in a cafe, then BMI would be the ones, not Spotify, of course, because it's probably not on Spotify, although it gets complicated because a shop might be playing a Spotify playlist, so it can get a bit tortuously kind of spaghetti like in trying to work out what you've been paid for. But anyway, I got this statement from BMI, and I said to CJ, "Hey, come and have a look at this because this is such an interesting. I know there's going to be a crazy illustration of, something to do with the way that a singer-songwriter gets paid." And sure enough, I was paid the. I can tell you exactly. It was something like $27. Now this is only the third time I've had a payment from BMI. So although they pay out every quarter, if there's nothing to pay, then they don't pay out, which makes perfect sense. So 3 times over the last, I guess, about 4 years, they have recovered some funds in my name and sent it to me. Now, the first time, I think it was about $90. That was quite good. The second time, I can't actually remember. And this time, $27. And I was moaning to CJ that, put the $27 to one side. What is also weird is that, there's so little information on there that you can use to help you. Like, what was it that got paid $27? What song? What form of media was it? Was it a shop or a cafe? Was it a radio station? Was it something else? I know that I haven't been performing it live. I can tell you that. So, and by the way, where? What location? Has been doing this? So because in dollars, I just assumed, oh, it must be the United States. And then when we looked closer into the small print, over the page, it did name some of the songs, and they were mostly older songs. Saw, which is from the second album, Ghosts, which is from the second album, Optimistic, which is from the second album. So they all were featured on a list along the left-hand side. It did mention those songs, and I thought, well, that's curious, that's interesting. In a way, I don't care which songs, but it's useful to know because it can help you sort of understand what kind of song has a longer life, and that's really useful. Any feedback we get with any data, I think you've got to do your best to understand it. Otherwise, you're wasting an opportunity. You've got to know this stuff. Anyway, so I thought $27. It's from the United States. Oh yes, we found these songs here. We know which songs it is. Great. And then I looked harder at it, and I thought, actually, this is not the United States. It's pointing out very clearly that it's other. There's a United States line that's got about 3 cents in it, but the $27 is from somewhere else. Well, guess where? Guess where I'm huge these days? $27 worth of huge. Where? Mexico. That is so bonkers to me. Now, look, if you're watching this from Mexico, all I can say is I love you. Thank you very much indeed. It's very gratifying, and I'm not in any way dissing your fine country. It just feels so random. But maybe I should come to Mexico and do a huge world tour of Mexico. something doesn't sound right in that sentence. Anyway, look, that's what it said. All I can do is relay that to you. It was quite amusing, and that's some of the goings on that I've been looking at this week in my ongoing adventure into the world of pop. What I'd like to do for the second half of this is to talk about a brand new song that I've written probably a couple of weeks ago, and just to share it with you. There's no particular reason for me sharing it with you other than I quite like it, and I'm quite keen on giving you a taste of some of the music, which in a way is a glimpse into the future because it'll take a while for it to kind of get released. So this song is called Risen. I did worry a little bit about the word risen because it's, whatever it is, it's the past participle of rise. And it's one of those words where if you say it a couple of times over, it starts to sound like a nonsense word, risen. But let's not do that. So the song's called Risen, and where it came from in my head, I think, was this sounds really, really nerdy, so apologies for this, but I was quite interested in going from the verse to the chorus, sort of up a scale. And actually, what this song does, as it goes from the verse to the chorus, it has this line, like a phoenix I am risen. As it does, literally, it's going up the scale into the chorus. And I wanted to work out, initially I was going to do like verse, very lower register, chorus, very upper register. In the end, it all ended up a bit upper register, but I still wanted to make sure that coming into the chorus, I did this rising thing, and then sing about something that was rising, if you see what I mean, if that makes any sense. So, as I say, it is quite a nerdy thing because I don't think there are any rules about having to do this. I was just kind of exploring if I could do this, if I could rise up a scale and sing about rising at the same time. And therefore I started thinking about a phoenix that's rising from the flames, etc. Now look, I know phoenixes are not particularly, novel. I'm sure there are plenty of songs about phoenixes rising from the whatever, but this is my attempt, and I think basically it's a song about deciding to transform oneself into something beautiful that people will notice. That is essentially it. It's about being ignored or anonymous, as I put in the chorus, and then becoming this gorgeous creature. So it's about transformation, and it's quite an anthem to transformation, actually. It's kind of a slightly understated anthem. That's how I'd like to see it. Well, you can be the judge of that. So I'm not going to say anything much more about it. I'd just like to play it to you, leave this one with you, and hope that it makes you feel anthemically fabulous, because that's the idea of it, and it should be an uplifting song. And it's interesting because I nearly chose an unbelievably depressing song to talk about and play to you today, and then I just couldn't. I mean, it's a goodish song, but it's so depressing that I almost can't play it to anyone, and it won't be on any album because it's too depressing. Maybe I'll come back to that when I'm feeling very brave and just play it to you, just you alone, and you don't have to share it with anybody. So look, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to leave you with Risen. I'll make a little lyrics video just so you can see what I'm going on about, and I will be away for a couple of weeks from next week, but I'm going to squeeze in one more adventure, I very much hope, before the end of the week or next weekend, and so that you've got something to have a look at while I trek around an Alp. Until then, have a fabulous week. Hope everything is good in your world, and here is Risen.
For years, no one's really noticed me at all. I kept my head make myself look small. I've been hiding in plain sight, but I think I've had a change of heart tonight. Just like a phoenix I have risen, like a man who's broken out of prison, no longer anonymous. My wings are looking fabulous. Don't look down because I'm gonna take you higher. So here I stand before you, like a phoenix risen from the fire. Don't know why I always struggle to stand tall, but I knew that pride comes before a fall. I've been trying to make it right. I would never give up without a fight. Just like a phoenix I have risen, like the blind man with 20/20 vision, no longer anonymous. My wings are looking gorgeous. I don't care no more if people call me names, 'cause here I stand before you, like a phoenix risen from the flames. Don't be afraid of your transformation. The changes I made will be my salvation. If I stayed the same as before, slip it down on the floor. I've been hiding in plain sight, but I think I've had a change of heart tonight. Just like a phoenix I have risen, like a man who's broken out of prison, no longer anonymous. My wings are looking fabulous. Don't look down because I'm gonna take you higher. So here I stand before you, like a phoenix risen from the fire, risen from the fire.